You are listening to Your Prosperity Insights with Joe Midas Mind Miller.
This is Joe Miller with this week's Prosperity Insights. Assumptions. Base your decisions on thought and perception rather than assumptions. Don't get trapped by assuming what is no longer true. Be careful not to use your assumptions as excuses for avoiding action. Question and challenge those assumptions and focus on what you wish to accomplish. The world changes every moment. What you once assumed to be true may no longer be true and may never have actually been true in the first place. Look at the world in front of your eyes, free of judgment. Consider all the possibilities, especially those that seem particularly outrageous. Instead of assuming that you can't, feel the confidence that comes from knowing you can. Hiding behind every assumption, there are new opportunities ready to be explored. Let go of the assumptions that may be holding you back and discover how very much you can do. Weekly financial exercise. This week's exercise for building and maintaining your financial well-being is opening space for prosperity to occur or cleansing your mind for prosperity. The intent of last week's exercise was to have you presence your financial desires and the story or excuses you use unconsciously to prevent those desires from being fulfilled. The intent of this week's exercise is to open the door to clear out the clutter those excuses generate in your mind and open a mental space for a prosperity consciousness to arise. Number 1, write a list of the 10 biggest complaints you have about money, relationships, and yourself. Number 2, next to each complaint, list the reasons why you hold on to the conversations about that complaint, the justifications, validity of the complaint, and who did what wrong, etc. Number 3, next to each complaint, list who you would need to forgive and speak with to have the complaint disappear. Also, list if you are willing to contact that person and when you will do it. If you are not willing to contact or forgive an item on the list, consider the space it fills is taking up space for your prosperity to grow. Can you afford that? Remember, people don't plan to fail. They fail to plan. I hope you've enjoyed this week's Prosperity Insights and use the exercise to stay on the path as you build and maintain your financial well-being. From Giordano's in Chicago, thanks for listening. This is Joe Miller with this week's Prosperity Insights.
You have been listening to Your Prosperity Insights with Joe Midas Mind Miller. You can contact Joe at Midas Mind at oldgrumpyradio.com. Joe at yourprosperityinsights.com, or visit Joe on the web at yourprosperityinsights.com.
The statements, views, and opinions of Joe Miller are solely his and not the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, Guardian, New York, or its subsidiaries or affiliates.